European institutions must do more to encourage whistleblowing. That's the opinion of the MEP Marta Andreasen from the Europe of Freedom and Democracy Party, a former chief accountant for the European Commission. She spent the last year and a half trying to get this report commissioned, the effectiveness of whistleblowing, and finally this week in the European Parliament she had it presented, and she's here today with the EUobserver to tell us a bit more about it. Thank you very much for joining me here for a coffee. So first of all, I'm very curious, you've had a personal experience of whistleblowing. You were fired from the European Commission because you didn't sign the dotted line. Tell us what happened, what was dodgy?
Well, I joined the European Commission thinking that it was in the middle of a reform of the administration and finances of the European Union budget. And but very soon I found that there were glaring shortcomings, both in the accounts that they were asking me to sign and also in the systems where the payments were processed. So, I had concerns about the quality of the accounts, but I also had concerns about the payments for which I was the ultimate responsible person there. So I tried to put reforms in place, and I was confronted with a lot of opposition. I asked for the support of my superiors, the superiors being the College of Commissioners, and notably the Commissioner for Budget, and I didn't get this support.
You were sacked?
Well, I was suspended and sacked, yeah.
You were suspended and sacked?
Yeah.
And is that what triggered you, when you became an MEP in 2009, to go after this topic and to bring about a more transparent Europe through this, by getting a better legislation?
Absolutely, absolutely. But if you look to the present situation from a financial point of view, the crisis we're going through, you can identify issues that if whistleblowers felt comfortable to speak up, would have prevented this crisis from occurring. For example, the reliability of the figures coming from the member states in relation to their budgets and their public expenditure. If this had been spotted, we wouldn't be in this situation. Eurostat is a body in the European Commission who should have checked those figures and didn't do so. So if there had been whistleblowers speaking about this, we wouldn't have this crisis.
But the problem is, are they brave enough to blow the whistle on their boss or their colleague? I was reading in the study, it says that in France, for example, only 4 in 10 people would, but in the UK, 9 in 10 people would be willing to blow the whistle. I mean, we've seen the case here in the European Parliament last month, where 4 MEPs were actually kind of talking to lobbyists and where they were guilty of tabling amendments. Do you think their assistants should have said something in this case?
Well, I think they should. I mean, but obviously...
Do you think they knew, the assistants?
Well, I cannot guarantee they knew, but I think that there were interviews that took place in the offices of the MEPs in Strasbourg. And as you may know, the offices in Strasbourg are quite small, and we MEPs share with our assistants.
Sure.
So it is unlikely that the assistants didn't know. But the people don't feel protected, and all they see are bad examples of what happens to a whistleblower after they blow the whistle. And, after my case, in fact, there was not any whistleblower coming up with any more news in the European Commission. And in the Parliament, let us say, it's a bit of the same. But also, in this specific case of the lobbyists and the MEPs involved, you also see that the Parliament doesn't take action against these MEPs. So 3 of them have been apparently prosecuted in their countries and have resigned. Well, 2 have resigned. 1 has not resigned, but there is a 4th one who, comes up with a letter saying that the Sunday Times will not say anything about him breaching the rules, which of course the Sunday Times doesn't know what the rules are. But he got out of this, and then obviously whistleblowers think, well, the people who win the battle here are those who are the cheats, really.
So what effect will this report have? Do you think it's going to make a change in Europe? It's going to bring about...
to be honest to you, I think that the report will have some effect if I'm there to put pressure.
If you're there to put pressure?
Exactly.
You alone?
Well, I would like to gather support. I have been talking to other people who also are concerned about crime and corruption around Europe. So I've been talking to other people. After the hearing, we met with a group of people, including Kathy from Public Concern at Work. And she explained there that, you were speaking about 9 out of 10 people coming up with the truth in the UK. And I think Public Concern at Work plays an important role. But also what she explained was that the law there protects the whistleblowers.
Yeah.
It doesn't encourage the whistleblowers, but it protects them. Whereas in the continent, in Europe, it doesn't encourage them and doesn't protect them at all.
Okay.
So we need to get to a level where they are encouraged, but we are very far from there. I would start to be a bit satisfied if we get to protect them properly. And this will require a change in regulation.
Well, let's ask our viewers. I want to know, would you blow the whistle if you knew that one of your colleagues or bosses was diddling with money or involved in some sort of case like that? Please leave a comment after the video or write us a message at video@EUobserver.com. Marta Andreasen, thank you very much for joining me for a coffee and good luck with your work.